be writing a lambda function in Python. Okay, and that lambda function will trigger every time a new war file is deployed to the S3. Okay, and that lambda function also, whatever the war file it will get, it will deploy it to the application server, which is maintained through the auto scaling group. Okay, so we need to understand the lambda, and before going to understand lambda, we need to understand Python, right? So we will be starting today from very basic Python, and we'll go to advanced, required for a scripting purpose only. Okay. So by end of this week, you can add Ansible and Python into your CV. Okay. So first we will see the Python and then Ansible, because Ansible is also written in Python. So it will be easy for you to understand the things if you know the Python. Okay. So without wasting any further time, we can go ahead and understand the concepts of Python. Okay. Okay. So let me create a new file directory and then okay, guys. So first of all, what is Python? Okay. So Python is a programming language. Okay. Python is a programming language, and that is mainly a scripting language. Okay. However, it works both as a scripting language and what we call uh, procedural language and object-oriented way you can use, but it is a scripting language. A scripting language means whatever commands you will write, whatever scripts you will write, whatever code you will write, that will execute line by line. Okay. So it will not first compile and then execute, but it will be executing line by line. Okay, whatever you will be writing as an instruction, it will be executing line by line. Okay, how can you install Python? So Python download, you can simply go to this page. Let me go to Slack. Okay, and provide this. Click on downloads if you want to have some other release version. If you want to download the latest version, then simply click on this. Okay. Windows. So different like Python 3.12 is in beta version, and that's why it is B2, and this is alpha. Okay, and you can download different version of it. 3.10.2 is the stable release, so you can go ahead and download this. Okay, so if you will click on this, okay, and this is 𝐤𝐤 to source stable, whatever. Oh, just a second. Okay, and it will be downloading the tar. You have to unzip it and then you can install it. Okay, it's quite easy, very straightforward. You can even download from here and it will directly give you the executable, just like Terraform executable. Okay, so you can click on install now. We cancel it. Yes, this is why I wanted you to uh, cancel it. That's why I call canceled it. So you can also check this box so you would not have to explicitly set the path. Okay, so your setup will itself add the Python executable part to the environment variable. You do not need to do it manually. Okay, so that's why I canceled and came to this page. And then you can directly install in this path, or you can customize your installation. And then next, and your Python will be installed. Okay, I already have a Python available installed on my system. So I do not need another Python. Okay. So I have Python 3.9.12 already available. Okay, guys. So we will be writing our first program in Python. So let me give it a name as basic.py. Okay. And we will be writing our first program. So generally the first program is like print hello world. Okay. So what we are doing as part of this, so we are printing hello world. Okay. So print is the function already written in Python, which is available to you. And for the purpose, if you want to print something, okay, on your terminal. So let's do Python basic.py, or it will print simply the hello world. How will you name your Python file? So it will have the extension .py. Okay. And how will you run your program? So Python basic.py. Okay, if you are coming from Java or some other compiled language like Go or C++. So in that, what actually you do, first you compile the program, right? So first you do Java C hello.java, and then you run Java hello, right? This way you work. But here, in case of Python, as it is a scripting language, you are just simply, without compiling it, you are able to run it, right? However, it is compiled, but that is not your headache. It is not being done by you. For you, it is in interpreted language, scripting language. But in the back end, Python virtual machine, it is not required, but just wanted to give you this information. It is also compiled. Okay. Some other day I will show you how it gets compiled. Okay. So it is not completely true that Python is not a compiled language, or it is but how it behaves, how it comes to you, that is completely a scripting language interpreted way. Okay, so that is how. So Python basic.py, you have used the fast function, which is print function, and we have got the output, whatever we have passed here. Okay, so in every language, they have their own set of data structures available. Okay, so if you are working with C, if you have understanding of C or Java or some other language, or even, for instance, if we talk about Go, because we are having knowledge of Terraform, and Terraform is written on top of Go, so we can see the data structures in that as well, right? So we can reference from there as well. So Terraform also has its own set of data structures, right? They have list, they have toSet, they have map, right? They have tuple, they have a string, right? A number, boolean. Yes, we have seen those. So similar to that, Python also has data. Okay, data structure. Okay, for different kind of data, it stores in different type of data structures. Okay, so Python has int type data structure. Okay, then it has boolean type data structure. Bool means boolean, and then it has also a string type, right? And then it has list type, then it has tuple, then it has set, and then it has dictionary. Okay, dictionary. Sorry if I am writing it incorrectly, but dictionary. Okay, so these are data types available in Python. Okay, and in this, these are called as primitive data type. Okay, and these all are called as the data type, collection data type. Okay, so let's learn about all of these one by one. Okay, so first data type is integer data type. What is integer data type? So integer data type stores number. Okay, number, integer number. Okay, so suppose if I want to store a equals to 10, b equals to 10.5, and let's see the data type of this particular data. So how can we see it? So there is a function in Python, which is type function, which is already written, already available to consume by our Python, and we can see the type of both of this. Okay, let's do Python basic.py. So it is not giving any output. Why? Because we are not printed it. Okay, the function ran successfully. Okay, the program ran successfully. If it is not, then it would have given the error. But as we are not printing it to the terminal using the print function, so it is not showing on screen. Okay, so save it. Every time you write a new program, you need to save it. And in VS Code, if there is dot coming, it means that particular program is not saved. If cross is coming, it means it is saved, right? So let's do the Python basic.py, and you can see that in first case, the class is integer, and in second case, the class is float. Okay, so what is float? So when you have floating point number, right, decimal and then some value, so in that case, it becomes data type float. And if you have just the simple number, okay, then it is integer. Okay, clear? So we have seen two data types, float and integer. Okay, maybe some question would be coming into your mind if you are coming from some other programming language. So we have not defined like int a equals to 10, right? This is not something we did. Or float b equals to 10.5. Okay. Okay. We have not done these kind of things. Okay. So if suppose I am printing now type of A and printing type of B, and let's run the Python basic. What is it saying? Int a syntax error, invalid syntax. Okay. But if you are coming from some other language like C, Java, whatever language you know, they are we used to define in this way, right? The data type, then the variable, and then the value, right? Or in some languages, first declare the type and then assign the value. Maybe you would be thinking that because of that, this error is coming, right? So I can show you that as well. Okay, and let's run this. Okay, so this is still giving error. Okay, why? Because in other languages like Java or C++, it is Golang even, a statically typed language. Those are statically typed language. Okay, Java, C, C++, Go, etc. Okay. However, Python is dynamically typed language. Okay. Dynamically typed language means you do not have to explicitly define the type of variable. Okay. You do not have to explicitly define the type of variable. It will be automatically taken care by Python. Python is so smart that based on the value provided, it will generate the type of it. Okay. So in previous case, like in this case, when I used A equals to 10, B equals to 10.5, and when I run this function, type function, which is used to give the data type associated with the particular variable, so that gave us that this is int and this is float. So what is this? This is the behavior of a dynamically typed language. Okay. So languages like JavaScript, okay, is also a dynamically typed language. Example of dynamically typed language. Okay, so JavaScript, Objective-C, PHP, Python, we are already seeing Ruby, Lisp, and TCL. These are dynamically typed language. Okay, Perl is there. Okay, so these all are explicitly mentioned the table will store. You are not defining. If you need to define those things, that programming language is called as statically typed language. And Java, C, C++, and Golang, and multiple. But I am just giving these things because I am aware of these languages. Okay, so these are statically typed language. Any doubt in this dynamically versus statically typed languages? Okay, so this is very important concept from the interview perspective and even from the when you programming language related knowledge related perspective. Okay, so this thing which is called as statically versus dynamically typed language. So we are working here with Python, so we do not have to explicitly define the type of variable. Okay, so based on the value assigned to a variable, it will be consider it as a particular data type. Okay, now suppose I am assigning a equals to awesome. Will it work or not? Let's see. Print type of A. Yes. So let's do this. Okay. So this is executing line by line. Okay, line by line. Firstly, it has A has the value 10, which we printed here. And then we have assigned another value to the A, which is awesome, and then printed the type of it. Okay. So we have seen integer, float, and next our string data type. So you can see that type is a string data type. So in this example, we have seen two things. One thing, a new data type we have learned, which is a string, and also learned with the same variable, we can assign another value. And if next time you are printing the anything related to this variable A, it is behaving like a string. It is not considering this, which means that Python is a scripting language because it is executing line by line. If it is some other language, so it would have given you error that integer type is here, string type is here, defined to the same variable, okay, which happens in the compiled languages. But here, as it is an interpreted language, line by line execution is going on. So here it comes, then it says, okay, A has a value 10, so it is integer. Then it goes ahead, type the B, then it comes to this line, and then it assign this awesome to this A, and then print the type of this. Okay, so this is giving a string data type. Okay, so this is third primitive data type. Okay, cool. Next concept I would like to teach you guys is, suppose I am defining third variable 10. Okay, and let's do Python basic.py. That's fine. Now I want to check the memory address of both all. Okay, 10, 10, B and C. Memory address. What is memory address? So whenever you write a program, so these are variables and it has some values. Okay, so whenever your program runs, it stores the data in the RAM memory. Okay, RAM memory, and there is a location called as heap memory. Okay, so to perform the faster processing, they need to load your program, load your data, okay, whatever you are passing as part of program into heap memory to process the data. Okay, so in the heap memory, everything, whatever you are passing will have a address, a proper address at what location that will be stored. So that is called as memory address. And how can we check the memory address of a particular variable here? So using the function, this function is also, you do not have to worry. This is provided by the Python itself. Okay, so if I need to check the memory address of A, then it is ID. ID is the function. Okay, and then ID of B. Fine. Let's print this. Print ID of A. So ID of A is this one, and ID of B is this one. Okay. And what about ID of C? Okay. Can you see a similarity between address of A and address of C? Is the same? Is the same or different?
Different.
Yes.
Different.
How is it different? This and this, is it different?
0,
No,
1, 1,
Mr.
0. It's the same, no?
Yes.
Because
Let me
it
remove
overrides.
this. Let me remove this address of B, then it will be more clear to you. Is it same or different?
It is same because earlier it took integer and then it override that memory address with the string. So the memory address would be the same, the heap memory address.
Okay, guys. So these two memory addresses are same. Why? Because it is again a very great concept. Okay. So in Python, suppose this value is 10. Okay. So whenever you are creating this a equals to 10, so in the heap memory, in the RAM, a place will be created and that will be held by this value, which is 10. Okay. So this is the memory address, suppose, for this 10. And in the first place, is the variable will be referencing to this value. Okay. And again, we have created another variable C with the same value. So what it will do? So it will not create another value 10. Okay. It will not create another value 10 and reference to that 10. It will not work in this way. Okay. What Python does, Python virtual machine does, it will check in the memory if there is any object with value 10. So it will say, yes, there is a value. And it will create a reference from C to this 10. Okay. So that's why the ID of A and ID of C is giving the same memory address. Okay. So in Python, with the same value, if same kind of value is referenced by two different variables, it will not create a new value, but it will reference to the same value. Okay. Understood? So that is why the memory address is coming same. Okay. Now in future, suppose A value is changing from 10 to 20. Okay. Now suppose A equals to 20 we are doing. So what will happen? You will be thinking like, oh, now 10 will become 20, right? 10 will become 20. Then what will happen to C? Okay. So PVM has solution for that as well. So what it will do, it will create another object for value 20 and it will close this reference and this A will start pointing to this 20. And this will be still existing because C is pointing to it. And suppose even C is also changing its value from 30, suppose, then again it will create a 30 here, 30 here, and this C will be referencing to that 30. Then you must be wondering, this 10 is orphan now. What will happen to this, right? It is orphan, nobody is referencing to it, but it is having some memory address. Okay, it has occupied some space in memory. Then what will happen? So PVM is very smart. Okay, whenever you run a program, it runs in the backend, okay, of your program, and it checks if there is any variable, value which does not have any reference, does not have any reference, it make that eligible for garbage collection automatically. You do not have to worry about it. Garbage collection, and it just free this address by removing this particular object. Okay. So this is what happens. So in case of Java, you need to do the garbage collection part also. You need to take care of this part. But in Python, you do not have to worry about garbage collection. That is PVM's job, which will be taking care of this particular thing of collecting the garbage and cleaning the space. Okay, cleaning the memory. Okay, is this clear, guys? Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? Okay. Okay. So this concept also gives you one more thing, which is called as immutability. Okay. Immutability. What is immutable? What is immutable? Immutable means unchanged. Okay. Okay. So Python says, I forgot the definition. In Python, what is immutability in Python? Immutability is the way no change is possible over time. In Python, if the value of an object cannot be changed over time, then it is known as immutable. Once created, the value of this object is permanent. Okay, so you can see that it is created, this 10, and it will remain permanent. Okay, it will not change. It will not change. With those changes, if there is a change, with those changes, a new object will be created, right? But there will be no change in this object. So this is called as immutability, unchanged. Okay. And by default, all the primitive data types like integer, float, string, okay, these are immutable in nature. Okay, fine. So now coming to next point, the other data types. Okay, so we have seen the integer data type, we have seen the float data type, then we have suppose a string data type. Okay, so there is no character data type and all in Python. It has this like only a string data type. Okay, before going to that, I also want to see one more thing. ASC. Show you one more thing. Okay, so with the is also you can compare the memory address of the value referenced by these two variables. So is the method, and then and this is also for the another way to compare those. Okay, yeah, fine. Sorry. Okay, so is for again, like if you want to compare that you can do, and in this way also you can do. Okay, now c equals to 10. Let me remove this. Okay, because c has now we want to act as a string. Okay, then next data type is Boolean. So you can write false or true. Okay, so always remember that in the Boolean data type, you need to pass false or true but this should start with capital. Okay, so capital F and capital T. Okay. Boolean data type. There is another data type is complex data type, but we are not interested in this because it is generally used in mathematical or calculation and all, like a plus 20 10z kind of thing. So I do not want to waste time on this. So this is also a data type, complex data type. Okay. So these are primitive data types available inside Python. Okay. And then we have collection data type. So this can store the single value at a time, right? But if we want a array of data, right? Or a map of data. So for that, those requirements, there should be some data structure. Okay. So we have list data type. Then we have dictionary data type. Then we have set data type. Then we have tuple data type. Okay. So multiple questions you would be asked around these collections in your interviews. Okay. So what is the difference between list and data type? Which is better, and all those kind of thing would be asked to you. So first we will learn about list data type. What is list data type? So list data type, suppose I am giving a variable L and want to assign a list of data. Okay, so list is collection of elements, and let me it will you need to provide it in a square brackets and comma separated. Okay, so suppose first thing I'm giving Ravi, second thing I'm giving integer data type, then I'm giving boolean, then I am giving uh, more data. Okay, so awesome. Okay, and now print L. So let's see if the different, if a list can have elements of different data type or not. Okay. Because I have written both, so that's why it is. And for single line comment, you can use hash inside Python. Okay. These are also not a programming thing. This is documentation kind of thing. So we can have hash. Okay. Now printer. So it is printing Ravi one true awesome. Okay. So what does that mean? Let me comment all of these because we are looking into list now. Okay. So good. So list is nothing but a collection of elements which can have different data types. We have the proof for it that it can have. Okay. So first is a string data type, second is integer data type, third is boolean data type, fourth is again a string data type. So this is how it works. Okay. So list is a collection of elements of different data types. So we need to store something like some data in the form of uh, which will have like in the form of array, and that have multiple data types. So in that case, we can go for list. Okay. So in real time, suppose what example I can give? We need to work with some data, like suppose if you have a student table, okay, a student table, or if you have a customer table and you want to customer table with the customer name and age and type of product they buy frequently, right? Type of product they buy and their phone number, this kind of data you have, and you want to perform some operation on top of that with the help of Python. Then what data type you can go for? So for in this case, you can go for list data type, right? Rahul dictionary is another data type. Okay. We have not yet discussed for dictionary. So this kind of collection you have where name is given, age is given, type of product is given, phone number is given, and you are not interested into key value pair, but just a value there. So you can go for list data type. Okay. So this is one use case. Okay. So this is the list data type. Okay. And there are multiple functions which is available with the list data type. Yes. Okay. So dir is a function which will give you what all function is available with a particular thing. Okay. So suppose L is what? L is a object of list, right? It is a list data. So what all functions you can apply with this list? If you want to check the list of this, you can use the dir function. Suppose this is the list. It you already got, but your programming requirement is after few minutes, after few lines, you got another data and that you want to add into the end of this particular list. Okay, so what function you can go with? Append function, where you can check here. There is a function, append function, which is supported. So you can use this to append something. So suppose I am saying L dot append Rahul and then print L. Okay, so it is appended in the end of the list. So I would not like to go in depth on these multiple functions. It will again, if I will be going into everything in great detail, then that will be separate course. Okay, but you can very easily understand based on your requirement. Even I will teach you all of these functions, you will forget this because when we use this, then we need to know it. Okay, so with the dir, you can see that function. With the function name itself, you can understand that what it is actually doing. So clear means what? It will clear the list. Copy means what? It will copy one list to another. Count means what? We will count. Let's see what count is doing. Okay, so list takes exactly one argument. So it should not be like this, but I guess it should be like this. Okay, let's do it. Count is not defined. Why? For what purpose we use count? I don't know. Print L dot count. Maybe the position of anything. Okay, so it takes exactly one argument. It is not taking the list. So what it is taking? Yes. So one it is, what does one means? L dot count. Okay, so in this case, what you can do, I'm giving you the real time what happens. Count function in list. Python list count. Okay, so the count method returns the number of times the specified elements appear in the list, right? So this is how you can work, right? It is not like you need to remember everything. I have done so many Python programming, but I do not remember what exactly count does. Okay, because I never used in my program. Even I had used it, I forget it. Okay, so this is what happens. Mostly the main function which is available, and I never remember this. I always do the dir. That's why I'm showing you dir. I would not like to waste your time in this particular thing. and you can list out what all function is available. These are the methods, okay, and these are the functions. What is the difference between method and function? Anyone has any idea? Okay, so I will explain you once we will move to functions. Okay, but just give you an overview. Function is something which independently works, and method is something when you define a function inside a class, that is called as method. Okay. Anyway, for a scripting class and object is not required. Object-oriented programming is not required. Only the scripting, for the scripting part, procedural Python is required. So we will be looking into functions and all. Okay. Okay. So, however, if you want to you make use of these methods, you can make use of this. Okay. Append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, sort. Okay, so these are the methods, functions available with the Python list. So append, as I have shown you, index means the index number, insert means if you want to insert at a particular location, okay, in the list, then you can go for, like, suppose if we are doing the append. So these are important functions. So we remember all the time, okay, this is what the difference between append and insert, and you will practice it, you will know it. Okay, so it is not a rocket science. So append is the end, insert means there could be a requirement when you have to like you do not want to add it in the end but a particular index, right? So then you will go to the insert function. So insert function takes two arguments, the value and the index number, and on that index number it inserts the value. Okay, then comes the pop. Pop means what? In a stack, what is push and pop? Push means putting something into, and pop means keeping out, right? Taking out. So pop is here is also same. It will take a particular element out. Okay, so let's suppose I'm doing l dot pop and then print the l, print l. Okay, so it randomly took out one value. Okay, let me print l before and after pop, so you will have the clear picture. Okay, so Ravi won true, awesome, Rahul. So this time Rahul go. Okay, so it take now in the latest versions of Python, maybe it has started taking from the end, but previously it was like randomly in previous versions of Python. Okay, let me do once again, maybe this time still it is taking. Okay, so it is taking from end and then remove it. So that is what pop is. Then remove it. Remove, let's do the remove. Okay, so you can play around this, all of these functions. Okay, it is not very difficult. Print l dot remove. Does remove take any argument? You can easily get it when you will get the error. Okay, list remove takes exactly one argument. Okay, so remove what? Remove true, maybe. Okay, so it is giving none. Let's do awesome. Oh, sorry, l dot remove awesome and then print l again. Okay, because this will give you none, because this particular remove function is not returning anything. So that's why it is giving you that. I will show you what is return, how can we define return. So when we will learn about functions, creating function concept, then you will understand. Okay, so let's do control S. Let's do Python basic dot Ravi one true. So we have removed awesome. Suppose I want to remove true. Remove the quotes because it is a Boolean data type. Okay. Why it removed one? Why it not removed true? Just a second, guys. And if I am doing true, okay, why it is removing? Because it is internally converts this into its binary value. True means what? 1, and false means was 0. So it is internally converting it into a binary, which is 1, and that's why it is removing 1. Anyway, you will not have Boolean value as part of a list. Okay, because which is Boolean, it can have a true and false value, which cannot be part of any collection of elements. Okay, so when we are talking about the remove function, so if you are passing true, so it is taking it, converting it into Boolean, and true's Boolean value is 1, so that's why it is removing it. Okay, instead of removing this. Fine, so this is what it is. So if you want to see again, I'm just giving you dir of L. Okay, so these functions you can use. Fine. So suppose this reverse, just to give you, this reverse will work similar. Okay, so suppose I want to do L dot reverse. L. Okay, so it got reversed. Now suppose I want to do underscore underscore reverse underscore L. Reverse. L dot underscore underscore reversed, sorry, I did incorrectly. Okay, and L. Will this work? Reversed is not defined. Yes. So underscore underscore reversed, or you are using reverse, both will work, right? What was the reverse? Yes. Okay, so same output both are giving. L dot reverse, L dot underscore underscore reversed.
Rahul, I guess this function is not working because it's directly printing the same list.
Sorry?
I think this function is not working reverse or reversed because it's directly printing the same list. Ravi, 1, true, and awesome.
Just a second. L dot reverse. Yes. And let's print it. So suppose let me L1, assign it to L1, and then print L1. None. Just a second. L1 equals to L dot reverse. That's fine. This is good. This is working fine because we are not getting error. But why we are not able to print it? So whatever is the L reversed, let's print L. Yes. Can you see this? It is reversed. So previously it was reversing, I guess, because first time also I used this one. No? It was not giving expected output.
Earlier it was not, but now it is.
Okay, but
Like
same
string
function.
underscore function is not working.
Let me check that as well. Oh, okay. And next, L dot underscore underscore reversed.
Oh, is it?
No, it's not working. Just a second. Just a second. Print. Yeah. This is correct, right? Underscore underscore. Reversed. Yes. And put it here.
God, we can Google the syntax for underscore reversed.
Just a second,
There is some
guys.
problem with the syntax.
Yes, I also think that way, but let me check once. Let me. Okay, and now L1 and then print L. Yes, L1. So this is called a generator, guys. I will talk about it. Generator. Just- Yes, so it is reversed. You can see awesome, true, one, Ravi. Okay, remove this one. Okay, but it is reversed. Awesome, true one. Why? What is happening? Why we are getting the generator? Okay, this is called a generator, and I am using the for loop on each of the element, and it is giving you first awesome, true, one, Ravi, which means that it is reversing. Okay, but as it is a generator object giving, so we cannot directly print alone. Okay, what is generator? How can you create your generator? We will discuss that. Rahul, you seems to be in some other world. We have not discussed slicing. Why are you going into slicing and all? Why would we do so many things when we have reverse or reversed? Okay, so guys, you can see that with the function, we can directly get the output. But in case of if we are using this method, which is underscore underscore reverse underscore underscore, it gives you a generator object. And on that generator object, I did the for loop and got the output, and that too in the opposite direction. Okay, opposite, like reverse order. Awesome is first, then true, then one, and then Ravi. Okay, so this is the difference, but you can make use of both. But generally, when we are scripting, we do not need these. Actually, this reverse function is making use of this internally. Okay, because in Python everything is object. Okay, so if we talk about the L is the object of class list. Okay, and this reverse function will be internally calling this method of the class list. Okay, so maybe that would be confusing for you right now. So I would not like to go into that space, but understand this. This reverse function is internally calling this method of class list. Okay, fine, and giving you the output. Fine, so this is how it works, and this is all about list. And if you need to understand the function, the different functions available with the list, you can always go ahead and do this dir thing. Okay, now the next concept is dictionary. Okay, now we have the next concept is, before going to dictionary, we should look into set and tuple because these are similar to list. Okay, so let's talk about the set now. Let me comment all of this. Okay, who did not get generator and then the for loop, do not worry, that is upcoming sessions. Okay, you will not understand now what is generator and what is the for loop. Okay, now coming to this part, and now we will talk about the set. Okay, so in set, what is the way? Suppose I am giving set as it is, as this s variable I want to store, and if you want to set the values for set, so we need to use curly braces. Okay, and in curly braces we can pass the values like Ravi 1, awesome 1.5, suppose. Okay, and let's print this. So first thing we will see, does set supports the data types, multiple data types as element. Okay, so let's do the python basic.py. Yes, it does support. Now let me do one thing. As part of list, this list, as part of list, let me duplicate this Ravi and print L. And in the part of set as well, let's duplicate this Ravi and then print S. Guys, it is important concept. Okay. So python basic.py. Can you see the difference? In case of list, this is giving as it is. Okay, Ravi 1, true, awesome, Ravi. And in case of set, even you have defined Ravi twice, it is just printing once. Okay. So what is the difference between list and set? First thing is list will be defined with a square bracket. Set can be defined with the curly braces, and list can have multiple different data types, which is called as heterogeneous, right? Heterogeneous data type. Set can also have heterogeneous data type. But in case of list, duplicacy of value is supported. But in set, duplicacy of value is not supported. You cannot duplicate. Okay. So Ravi is in this case cannot be duplicated. So if your requirement to have a collection where you should not have duplicate values, right? Then we will have to go with the set data type. Okay. Okay. So this is what it is about the difference between set and list. Okay. So set will not support duplication of data, which is the main point. Okay, which is the main point between set and list. Okay, fine. If you want to see again the functions available with set, so what you can do, dir of set, and then okay. So what all functions are available? Add, clear, copy, difference, discard, intersection, is disjoint, is subset, is superset, pop, remove, symmetric difference, update, union, update. Okay. So mostly set is also you will not be mostly using in scripting. It will generally, if any requirement comes once in 1,000 times that you need unique data, then you can go for set. But generally, it is also mostly used in mathematical calculations. Okay, like superset, subset, symmetric difference. These all you can see that these all are related to mathematical calculation. Our requirement is sometimes like we need to make it unique. Okay, our list should not have duplicate value, so we can convert that into set, right? That is the use case which is being used in the scripting world. Okay, so this is all about it, the set data type. You can look around with the dir, you can see the functions, you can check on Google what this particular function does in set, and you can learn about this. That is not a big thing. Okay, the logic is what is the difference between set and list, and that is the important point we need to learn. Functionality is always improved, always enhanced, always added a new functionality, and you can learn on the go, right? So, and how can you learn that? How can you make use of that? I have already shown you, like you can go to Google and search for the function with a particular data type and then explore more about that. Okay. Next is tuple. So I am defining a tuple with the same value. Okay. Okay. So tuple should not have a square bracket. It will have parenthesis. Okay. First of all. Okay. And let's print this tuple. Okay. So in first case, it is giving Ravi Vanasam. This case, it is removing one Ravi, and this case again, it is giving all of these. Okay. So what is the difference between list and tuple then? Both are collection of elements and both are having the same kind of use case here. We cannot see any difference, right? So let's do one thing. Let's try to. This is also a way of assigning the value to a list. Okay, so I want at 0th index to add a new value, which is suppose Chaitanya. Okay, and let's try to do the similar thing in the tuple. Okay, T of 0. It is giving error. It's here only, but I'll let me tell you. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, if you will check the list, so at 0th position, Chaitanya came into existence. But if we talk about tuple, so at tuple, we cannot do the assignment. Okay, so what is the main difference? Summary of what we have, gist of what we have discussed is list is mutable. Mutable means its value can be changed. Previously at 0th index, this was Ravi, now it is Chaitanya. But tuple is immutable. Immutable list, you can say. Okay, so if your programming requirement is something like the value should not be changed throughout the program execution for a particular collection of element, then you can make that as a tuple. Okay, if that is your programming requirement. So tuple is immutable in nature and list is mutable in nature. This is what the main thing which we were talking about there. Mutable, what is mutable and immutable? The primitive data type is immutable. So integer, string, right? Float data type are immutable. If suppose a equals to 10, and if you want to create a equals to 20, sorry, a equals to 20, so with those changes a new object will be created. Okay, but in this case, in list, we are able to change in the existing list. In L only we are adding, right? And when then we are printing the L, we are getting the output. So in the same existing list, we are existing list, which is reference to this variable L, we are making changes and we are able to modify it. Modification changeable nature is called as mutability. Non-modificational, you cannot change the value, those are called as immutable. So list is mutable and tuple is immutable. If you want to have the T0 as Chaitanya, so you will have to create a new tuple T1, and there you will have to give at the 0th position Chaitanya. Okay, and then Ravi and all, whatever you wish. Okay, in the same object you cannot modify. So this is what immutability is. And this is what the list versus tuple. So just to summarize everything what we have discussed. So list, set, and tuple, 3 data type, which is collection data type, data structure in general, you can say. And first is list, which can have heterogeneous data. Heterogeneous data means of different data types data you can have as an element. Okay, in case of list. In case of set, also heterogeneous data type is supported. In case of tuple, heterogeneous data type is supported. But in case of list, you can change the value. In case of set also you can change, but in case of tuple, you cannot change. So tuple is immutable list. Okay. In case of list, you can have duplicate values. You can have duplicate values in case of tuple as well. But if you want a uniqueness, then you should go for set. Okay. So this is the main difference between all these data types. Tomorrow we will discuss about dictionary data type. Okay, and we will see different concepts around that. And if you will do the DIR of tuple, so you can also see the functions supported with the tuple. Sorry, T1 it is, right? Okay, so this has only 2 methods supported, count and index. It does not have append, remove, because you cannot do those things because it's immutable. So only 2 things available, count and index, only 2 functions available. Okay. You can check in this way also. Okay. So this is the main class. This T1 is object of tuple class. So through that also we can see, or if you have not defined anything and want to see what is all supported with a particular data type. So you can simply go ahead and suppose that you want to check what all functions available for list. You can simply do this. Okay, and you will see all the functions. So this is how it works. And this is all about the data types and data structure in Python. Not all about. Tomorrow we will learn about dictionary, and then we will be moving to functions. Then I will show you exception handling. Okay, before this we have the concept of conditional conditions like if else, and then we have for loop, while loop. Okay, everything. So we will discuss all of these, and then we will be moving to a package which is called as Boto3. We will be making use of other packages too, Paramiko package, and then OS package, system, multiple package. I don't remember. Okay, so these all things we will be covering in upcoming sessions. Good guys, it is already 9 a.m. Thank you for joining the session. Let's meet tomorrow.